Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today I'm going to talk about why perimenopause and menopause symptoms can get worse at night. If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. So we know that for a lot of you, symptoms seem to get worse or even appear in the evening. And a lot of it, believe it or not, has to do with the modern world. We're living in the 21st century, and as for women, things can be a lot different compared to years ago. It can be due to stress, and we know that the menopause itself, so the hormonal changes that go on in the perimenopause and the menopause, stress the body. That's just a given. So our body's already under a lot of internal pressure. It may not seem like it is on the outside, but inside there's a huge amount. It's like the duck on the pond, the little legs are going like mad. Our body is working really, really hard at trying to keep itself stable on a daily basis. If we then add in all the stresses and strains of our modern day life, by the time it comes to night, our body just basically can't cope with what's going on. So if you think about it, in our mothers and grandmothers' day, menopause, it was a lot simpler, if you like, or life was a lot more simple. The majority of women stayed at home. Diets were a lot less complicated. There was no fast foods. There was no processed foods. Everything was basically made from scratch. There was less of a rush because there wasn't this sort of work life, home life balance. There was very little caffeine. I mean, all there was probably tea, you know, but the majority of people didn't have coffee, very little alcohol. So their bodies found it a lot easier to adapt to all the physical changes that were going on. But obviously today we're multitasking, we're rushing around. A lot of you have probably still got children at home. You might be looking after elderly parents. So the day-to-day stress is much stronger, and it has a bigger impact on our energy reserves by the time we get to the end of the day. And what happens then, because our body's ability to cope collapses, then symptoms just pop up. The ones you're having during the day can be worse, but you can also start to get the symptoms in the evening. So what can you do? Yes, it would be lovely if we could all up sticks and go back to more simple times. But that's just not possible these days, is it really? I remember reading years ago a very wise woman saying that one of the things that women should do as they approach the menopause is to go away and find themselves for a year. And every single person I've said that to has just looked longingly and gone, oh yes, that would be wonderful. Our bodies would be able to cope so much better in that situation. But we know that's just a nice pipe dream for most of us. So what you can do is, though, you can be aware of all the stresses that you are under on a daily basis, and you can try and minimize them if you can, and that will then have less of an impact on your energy reserves by the time you get to the end of the day. So number one, guess what? For those of you that have been watching for a while, you'll know that water is right there up at the top. Falling estrogen creates dehydration in the body, and dehydration will trigger joint aches and pains, brain fog. It will impact on your skin. It will cause fatigue. And if you're getting hot flushes and sweats, then that's going to put extra pressure on the way in which your body holds on to water. So loads of water on a daily basis, it can make a huge difference to how you feel in the evening, and it can improve your sleep as well, believe it or not. So really, really important, number one that's up there. Number two is, what's your caffeine intake? And I know just from speaking to lots of people, especially when I do workshops, is the number of you that when you get up, the first thing you do is have a cup of coffee or tea. So you're literally hitting your nervous system with caffeine first thing in the morning. It's going to rev up your nervous system, and mid-morning symptoms can be caused by that first cup of coffee. So the first drink of the morning, hydrate yourself, big glass of warm water, and then have your caffeine after breakfast. That can make a huge difference. And remember, that caffeine from your cup of tea or coffee can still be affecting you 8 hours later. So if you're having an afternoon or a lunchtime cup of coffee, that can be triggering your evening symptoms. And I had one lady, all she did was cut out her after dinner cup of coffee and her night sweat stopped within about a week. So that's a really good incentive. Cut down on your caffeine, can make a huge difference. Number 3, keep your blood sugar stable. And again, the number of you that tell me you miss breakfast, or you don't have it till later, or you just have a piece of toast and a cup of tea or something, your body is going on a long, long journey every single day. It needs to be fed and watered. So a good breakfast is absolutely vital to keep your blood sugar stable. Stable blood sugar level will minimize your symptoms as well. You're less likely to get panic attacks, anxiety, flushes and sweats and brain fog if your blood sugar is nice and level. For those of you that really find it difficult to cope with breakfast, just a simple protein powder drink can make all the difference, and that can set you up for the rest of the day as well. Number 4, are you breathing? I know it sounds silly how, breathing, but the way you breathe can impact on your symptoms as well. Our whole body needs oxygenating, and if we're low in oxygen on a general level, that will be your brain fog, that will be your fatigue, just to start with. And I know myself that if I'm really focusing on something, if I'm really getting into something, I tend to hold my breath, or I tend to breathe really slowly, and that will impact on my brain function. So I've learned, I have a little sticker on my computer now which says breathe, just to remind me. So deep breathing, again, every hour or so, if you can, go onto YouTube and find some really simple breathing exercises that you can incorporate into your day. And very often that will certainly help the brain fog that often appears, especially in the afternoon. Number 5, relax. Really, really important. That 30 minutes me time a day, it's vital. It's not a luxury. And it can help your body to cope. And even that 30 minutes will give your body that little bit of extra energy. And I know I find at night, if I do just a little bit of meditation at night, it really helps to prepare me for a better night's sleep as well. So huge amounts of benefits by having that 30 minutes. So it's not about sitting in front of the telly, watching your favourite soap and having a cup of tea or reading magazines. It's about shutting yourself away for half an hour, letting the cares and worries of the day go. Have this time just for yourself. So there you are. So what I would suggest, maybe a little bit of homework, is try for the next week to be more aware of these things and how they can impact on your symptoms during the day and especially in the evening. I love post-it notes. I have them everywhere to remind me. So I've got my breathing one. If you find that you're tending to raid the fridge because you're hungry because you haven't eaten enough during the day, that will be your low blood sugar. Put a post-it note on the fridge just saying eat well. So that can remind you maybe to have healthier snacks rather than sweet or high fat or processed food snacks. And just make sure you drink your water, remind yourself about that as well. Try all this for a week, see if it has a good impact on your symptoms. Let me know. I will be really interested to see if these really simple things can help you in one way or another. So happy week, have a nice week, and I will see you soon.